have a different one.
You ain't real boy, act your level. I'm real boy, act your pedal. You better dash from my class of rebels, cause you know we came to blast when we smashed the metal. Brooklyn, that's how we doing it. Brooklyn, that's how we doing it. Brooklyn, that's how we doing it. Brooklyn, that's how we doing it.
Yo, what's up? Welcome to another live podcast of the On Everything show. I'm very happy to be here. Welcome, ladies. Hello, Ella. Hello,
Hey,
Tiffany.
hey, Jean. What's going on?
Hello.
Well, today for the On Everything podcast, we have a special guest. Her name is Tiffany Mathias. She's an author. She has a wonderful book that just came out. It's called Pretty Broken.
Yes.
All
Pretty
right.
Broken, transforming scars into beauty marks.
Oh man, that's
love
something.
that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yes, thank you.
So we're gonna jump right into it. Tiffany.
Yes, hi G.
Welcome to the show. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here today. I'm really excited to talk about the book and talk about what you did in the book, and to talk about your work. I'm very excited about this. What would you say the book is about?
Okay. So the book
let's start from where you're from. Where you're from first. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Tell us your
Just a little bit about before we jump into the book, so we have a chorus so our audience can know.
Okay,
I was gonna curve that right into it, but go ahead, let's start there. That's fine.
All right, Miss Ella. We're gonna take it Miss Ella's path. All right. So I am Tiffany Mathias. I am from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn in the house. Yes, I am a wife, a mother, grandmother. Yes, this beautiful face here is a grandmother.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Yes, I am a businesswoman, and now I am a published author, and I am excited to be here to discuss some of those things. Yes.
I love it.
Okay, and where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Brooklyn, and Queens. Family bounced back and forth between Brooklyn and Queens. So Jamaica, Queens, Brooklyn, New York. I'm around the way, girl. LL Cool J was singing about back in the days.
You're a city girl.
Bamboo earrings on, but trying to be a little bit more professional out here. So born and raised in New York City. Raising my family here in Crown Heights now. Mother of 5, grandmother of 1.
Okay.
That is wonderful.
That's
Tiffany Mathias, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Mathias.
I want to put a spin on that so everyone knows who you are. This wonderful book, Pretty Broken. Please tell us, because your story is unique. We were talking a little bit earlier. Your story is kind of unique than some authors. So tell us about how the book first came about with the collaborators. Tell us that story.
So my cousin Natima Cherie reached out to me. She said, "Cuz Spirit spoke to me and gave me this project, and Spirit said, you need to be part of this project. You have a story to tell. I'm reaching out to you and some other ladies, and we're going to write an anthology." I'm like, all right, I'm listening. I always got a good story. She said, "You know how everybody seems to think that just because a woman is pretty or attractive, she doesn't have any problems?" I said, hell yeah, I know that. Exactly. People seem to think just because you got a nice face, a nice figure,
right,
life is good for you. No. Behind all that beat, behind all that body, it's some shit going on there. Oh, can we curse? I'm sorry. But in the meanwhile, she said, yes, I'm going to get us together and I'm going to tell you what the project is about. So in the middle of the pandemic, I got an email from my cousin. And she's like, this is the premise of the story. Story is going to be called Pretty Broken, Transforming Scars to Beauty Marks. And I want each of you to tell a story about a time where your beauty did not help you get through whatever your trial or tribulation was. As a matter of fact, if your beauty caused your trial or tribulation, I need that story.
Yes.
So I sat down and I just started brainstorming, just thinking about all the different things that I've been through in life. And as I backtracked, because that's how I started, I I landed on being 18 years old, newly admitted to college, and finding out that I was pregnant and I was going to be a teen mom. Because for me, that was probably one of the first decisions that I made in my life that I made on my own, and that it just rippled. It had the most rippling effect, you know?
Okay.
So that was where I started writing. I started writing about what it was like to be a teen mom, what it was like to have to put my dreams on hold because I was now responsible for this life. And, you know, just penned around it until Pretty Lost was born. And that's what we talk about right now. Being lost and found and lost again, because my theory is, you know, life is not a straight road. Just like any trip that you take, you got highways, byways, ups and downs, and everything like that. And you get lost sometimes. And before GPS came along, people just drove around, maybe looking for a lamb or somebody who would help them. But you just were out there trying to figure it out. And that's what life is. We are all out here without a GPS trying to figure out where our destination is.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, like me coming from a ministerial background, like I like to say God is my GPS, but you know, you need a GPS. You need a GPS to find the GPS. So
exactly.
you need a GPS to find God. So you know what? It's the same way, and I love the way you put that.
And this is Tiffany's GPS. So if people need to find the answers, that's what we want them to do. Look at Pretty Broken. I love that.
Absolutely. Were you always a writer, or did you just get into it?
No, I've always enjoyed writing and reading when I was in school, and you know, discussing books and everything like that. My favorite was poetry, though. Definitely expressing myself through poetry. And I've had other people tell me that you should write stories. You should write stories, you know. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, not on that level, you know. And again, when, as you say, you sometimes need a GPS to the GPS. You know, I was actually home recovering when the pandemic hit and shut everybody down. I was home on disability. I had fractured my ankle.
Oh, wow.
And so at that point in time, I had no outside work. I wasn't in school. It was just my body, my healing, and my family. And so a lot of the static, the noise that would block a message from coming through wasn't there. So the message came in clearer that, you know, now was the time to tell this story, and then which story it was to tell.
That's what I was going to ask you next. How did you, because through our lives, and you were 18, young mother, we go through a lot of challenges. When it was time for you to write this book and you were writing poetry and you were figuring out what you wanted to say or what you wanted to speak about, how did you pick your topic? And what importance does that topic mean to you? Like, I picked this one because we know that's the topic that everybody's going to read. So it must have something dear to your heart. How did you do that?
Honestly, the topic picked me. Like I said, I was writing down different things that I could talk about. And and I were previously talking, you know, off air about writing and writer's block, and how sometimes to overcome writer's block, you just jot things down. And that was this particular story about being a teen mom is the one that it just kept flowing. Things just kept coming, you know, as I was brainstorming and writing things down. I was like, yep, this was part of the story. And that was part of the story. And my grandson, I would say he tried to be my little home health aide. He's only 2 years old.
Oh, wow.
But he was there. He come and like put my foot up and everything like that. He then, you know, jump off the pillow that was elevating my foot onto me, like he was jumping off the top turnbuckle in a wrestling match and everything like that.
Oh my goodness.
It's seeing the generations in there, and it's like, you know what? Healing has to start soon, because he's only 2. He doesn't need to be subject to the I went through, that his mom went through, that my mom, his grandma, like he doesn't need to be subject to that. And that healing has to start with telling this story about how his mom came into the world.
Wow.
And so your section, because you said they're the other authors, right?
Yes.
10?
9 other authors.
9 other authors, so 10 total. So your Pretty Lost is about all around your teenage pregnancy and the experience.
It's the path that it led me on to being a teenage pregnancy and my refusal to become a statistic. Because that was the first thing that came to my mind. In the chapter, I discussed telling my grandfather that I was pregnant, and that was probably the hardest person it was to tell this news to, because he was very old school, old fashioned, and I was the first granddaughter. I was his baby, like I was his favorite. Sorry, y'all, I'm granddaddy's favorite. But to the disappointment that I knew I would see in his eyes and feel for him when I told him that this was the path that I was on, I knew in my head it's like statistic, welfare mom, not gonna do nothing.
All those stereotypes.
I barely had just graduated from high school. Sean, you said, what are some of the names of the other authors? We have Natima Cherie, Catherine Robertson, I'm remembering all first names. But
that's understandable.
Because the way you all met though was like organic anyway.
Yes.
It wasn't like you all knew each other. You all met organically, through email and came together to do this project.
Yes. Yes. As a matter of fact, some of the things that are coming with this project is we're working on a book tour because we're all over. So we're in Texas, we're in Vegas, we're in Maryland, we're here in New York.
Wow.
I believe Detroit. So we're all over the place. So the plan is to try and hit all of the cities that we're in and do speaking engagements and motivational tour and, all that stuff and get the word out there. This coming Sunday, I'm hosting a meet and greet in Brooklyn for myself.
That's dope.
Yes. So this will be one of the first in-person events for the book. And all of the ladies will be tuning in via social media and sending their love and support because that's just what writers do. We shine for each other.
That's right. I love that you're doing that.
And where's this signing going to be? I'm sorry.
Yes. So the signing is going to be at Bailey's Cafe, which is in Brooklyn, New York, 324 Malcolm X Boulevard. And we're going to be there from 2 to 6.
If y'all watching, pop out, y'all. Pop out. All right.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then when you all go on the book tour, I mean, like you're starting, in New York and you're doing it all over. I see great things. It doesn't stop there. And I know, not only more books, but especially, and if we could get all of you all together, and that's a mini movie. That is a mini movie. I mean, this is so phenomenal what you're doing. And each of you all has something unique to bring. And so I think it's going to touch so many people. I love it. Yeah. I can't wait.
You said it's a mini movie. And in my head, I'm hearing I'm a movement by myself, but we're forced together, man. It's going to be great.
Yes.
And if y'all watching the On Everything podcast, you have any questions, call 646-309-0421. All right. If y'all listening,
please call in or comment in the chat. Any questions you have for Tiffany, please. We are here to answer. She's written a phenomenal book. We want you all to go out and purchase it. And where is it available?
It is available online, Amazon. So you can go to Amazon. The book is Pretty Broken, Transforming Scars to Beauty Marks. It is available in paperback and downloadable on your Kindle.
Excellent.
That's amazing. And I love the thing about the title with the transforming scars into beauty marks. And a lot of times, like when we think of scars, we only think of like just the physical scars, but there are like so many mental scars,
emotional
scars, emotional scars.
Yes.
you know, I love the title. I just love the way, you know, the way that flows. That's a beautiful. And talk to us about scars, like what, you know, like some of the scars that, you know, you've encountered, you know, coming up.
Yeah. So some of the deepest scars and the ones that take the longest to heal are the ones that you don't see. You know, of course, you can put a tattoo over it. You could put some makeup over it and camouflage it, but you can't camouflage the unseen. We try, you know. You've had a perfect example of somebody who had deep scars that they tried to camouflage with laughter might be a Robin Williams, who was a comedian.
Oh yes,
who made millions of people laugh. His whole career was about making other people happy, and that man was so pained inside that he committed suicide because he had inner scars and turmoil that he didn't heal from. You know, those scars that are emotional, that are unseen to the naked eye, are the ones that we need the help the most to work on. And in our community, you know, Black people don't do therapy.
Absolutely.
I need to. I'm a firm.
Unfortunately,
I'm a firm believer in therapy. Get the right therapist.
Yes.
If you want a Black therapist, get you a Black therapist. If you want if you're a man and you want a male, because male perspective, somebody who's going to understand what it's like to be in your skin in your struggle. Yeah, it might be difficult for a Black man to take therapy from a white woman, you know, and vice versa. It might be difficult for a Black woman to take therapy from a white man or whoever else it is. But there is a therapist that looks like you and who understands and who is willing to help. Holistic medication and understanding everything when it comes to the energies and the vibes and clearing the negativity out of your space, because that can be toxic on you. You ever been around somebody and you great and you happy, and then this person come in and they just suck the whole life and energy out of you? What? Yes, get some sage.
That energy is real. That energy is real, and it will attach to you. If you cannot discern, it will attach to you. So I totally agree with what you're saying. Absolutely. I have a question. When you were writing the book, as you're writing the book, right? Because we know that it came out of the teenage pregnancy. While you were writing it, were you also healing yourself?
Oh, absolutely.
It's therapeutic, right?
It was therapeutic. And when I finished that first part about discovering that I was pregnant to my daughter, the way we sat and cried, it was because she knows her birth story. She knows what it was, but to hear how I'm writing it out for the world to see, it's something totally different. Like, you know your story from your family talking and you ear hustling, you know, when you're a little kid, like, what the hell are you talking about? But when it's like, no, baby, this is what happened, you know. And I needed her to know that my choices were my choices. You know, when you're a teenage mom, when you're young and you have a child, sometimes that child brings on themselves the guilt of you not going forward with what you might have thought your destination, your path was. I know for myself, learning my birth story, my mother wanted to be a lawyer and had wanted to go to law school. And that was not, once she found out she was pregnant with me, that was not the path that she went on. Does she regret her choices? Absolutely not. She tells each of us each and every day that she does not regret having any of us, especially me, because there was always an option. There was always a different choice or a different path to take. And I chose the path that was going to be the hardest because you were worth it. And you just gotta breathe and build that into these kids, that they are worth it, you know, to the healing.
Absolutely. And that's the thing about parenthood. You know, like once you become a parent, it's like,
we're all parents.
Yeah, exactly. It's like once you become a parent, it's like, you know what, this is my everything right now. And you know, sometimes we tend to lose focus on ourselves and you know, like really just put it all into the kids. But you have to realize when those kids, you know, grow up, and you know, I know my kids are still young, but I know some of y'all got grown kids, and when they grow up, it's like, you know, you still got a life to live. Now you got to turn back around and look at, you know, what you didn't take advantage of. So sometimes that, you know, it's important to, you know, like to keep on keeping on once you do become a parent, and to find ways to fit everything into that schedule. And God bless y'all. You know, mothers are everything. I'm a mama's boy, so you know, I understand.
You already know.
But I think kids do, and I feel like that too. They do feel like when they see their parent working and when they see you grinding, especially, you know, whether you're in a single parent home or what have you, they feel like, gosh, I hope I didn't stop my mom from doing this, or I hope I didn't stop my dad from doing this. But, you know, we do what we have to do as parents because now you are the priority. So sometimes our things are on hold, but they're just on hold. That doesn't mean that it's over, because had you had done something else, had you not had, it's your daughter, right?
Yes.
Had you not had your beautiful daughter, would you have written this book?
Heck no. And my whole
and in the way that you wrote it, that
would be different. Let me tell you, each and every time as I wrote out the story and I get lost in my path, all I kept hearing in my head was recalibrate, Brute, recalibrate, especially when now I had this little person that was in the passenger seat with me. You know, she was now on this journey with me, and it became my responsibility to make sure that her path was easier. You know, if there's no right or wrong to parenting, there's no handbook that's given. All you want to do is make sure that you do better for your kids than that, you know, your parents did for you, and you keep building and elevating, teaching and teaching more. And that was all my goal was with my daughter, was just to make sure that she knew she was loved, she knew she was wanted, and that whatever she needed in life, not wanted, whatever she needed in life, she got.
Absolutely.
Might not have gotten it right then and there because the struggle be real sometimes, but you got it. And I used to teach her and her sisters early on, like, we have to struggle for this now, because when we get it, we're going to appreciate it so much more. If you just ask for something, you just open your mouth, was like, Mommy, can I have? And I gave it to you. Each and every time you ask for something, you would never find value in what it is that you're getting. And now that she's a mom, she's now teaching that to her son. And she's helping me to reinforce that with her siblings. Like, nah, you got to work for this, sis. You got to work for this, little bro. It don't come easy.
So So what about the process of being a young parent and, you know, going through that struggle? Would you be able to assist or advise young parents or young women who are, you know, giving birth or on their way down that path that you came from?
Build up your support group. The saying, it takes a village, is no BS. It takes a village, because whether you're a single parent or you're a couple who had a child, adopted a child, whatever it is, you can get burnt out. You both can get burnt out. And it takes a tag team to raise these little people, right? So build up your support group. Know who it is that you can go to for what, because your support group does not always have to come in financially. They can come in with their time. They can come in with their advice and guidance. They can come in with their prayers. They can come in with the cooked plate of food. You know, my mom was good for that one. You know, going over to mom's house and picking my daughter up and like, all right, we're gonna raid the fridge and take some leftovers back to the house because you know, mom's cooking and I'm tired or whatever it is. But yeah, build your support group is the first one. The next one is don't expect perfection. Don't expect perfection out of you, and don't expect perfection out of that child. First of all, when the doctors put that slimy little screaming, crying thing on my chest, I looked into her beautiful brown eyes and I cried. I cried because I knew this child was going to love me. She was going to break my heart. She was going to lie to me. She was going to steal from me, but she was going to make me prouder more than anything else in the world. And all that in one swoop, like, this is what's going to happen. And it's like, again, at 19, it's like, I ain't ready.
Yeah, I mean, and in all honesty, like even like if it would have happened at 30, like you're still not ready. You're never ready for parenthood.
No,
You're
so
never ready.
let me tell you, I did it two more times. So there are three
Wow.
daughters. There are three daughters. So I did it again at 27, and I was still like, and then I did it again.
Jeez.
Parenting is not easy.
Mhm.
And especially when you deal with little ones, they have their own personality.
Yes.
You don't know what they're going to say, how they're going to behave. I mean, you know how you're going to teach them, but it's always, every day is just like, what's going to happen today. And I think that's the joy of it too, because it's so much to learn. I've learned so much from my daughter, and I know you've learned so much from your kids, even being an adult. If I didn't have her, I wouldn't be, she is so much a part of me that I'm the woman I am today because of her. And I'm sure that we all feel the same way about our kids, because they bring so much to the table that, just your friends, adult friends, wouldn't have you look into, because kids are so innocent and sometimes they can say things and do things and you're like, wow, I never thought of that. You thank God for you. Thank God for you. And to say that about Jean, I wanted to ask what Jean said about telling the women. And so you said a good support system, which is absolutely correct. What if the teenager and somebody who's reading your book and they're reading your story, and so they're getting inspired, but what if they don't have a support system? What if they don't know? And we know there's resources, but what if they don't know the resources? And what if they're just feeling like it's over? I mean, yes, find my support system, but right now I'm in a different place. I'm in a depressed state. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't tell my family. I don't know about my friends. What do you do with those teenagers who feel like everything is lost before they go down and spiral down a negative path?
So I'm a firm believer that our answers are within inside of us. And so one of the things that I've learned is this tool called story boxing. And when you're doing story boxing, what you're doing is you're separating the facts of what you know from what your feelings are. And so you're removing all of the things that you don't need with those what you think, just so that you can focus on the fact. You can story box about everything. And as you sit down and you story box and you write out what your story is, like, this is what's happening. These are the people who are involved in it. This is what I know will happen if this happens, or this is what happened. And you start planning it out. You start writing it out so that the answers will unveil themselves. You know, is it easy? No, nothing worth having is easy. It's all work. If somebody sat there and told you, oh, parenting is easy, they are lying or they're not doing it.
Exactly.
That's true.
I saw a thing, right? So the saying, F them kids, right? They got all the people. And the one that's going around is, if you ain't ever said F them kids, you don't spend enough time with your kids. Like, they just so needy and they so but the point of the matter is, it's gonna be hard work. There's nothing that you're gonna do in life that's not gonna be hard work. But when you are sitting here molding a human being who you want to be a productive member of society, on top of the fact, God help us, they have some melanin in their skin. They out there fighting battles that they shouldn't even be fighting.
Exactly.
You sitting here having the talk with 2 and 3 year olds because they have to learn how to be able to present themselves in society where they don't end up shot or choked out on the street. This shit is hard.
Stay alive.
You are not lying. Absolutely. That's a fact for sure.
And yes, Jean, especially a Black male.
Yeah. Listen, my first kids, I went from 0 to 2, so I had twins. I
got those in my family.
I just remember just walking into walls at night, trying to get them. They used to wake each other up. I'm trying to get bottles situated and stuff like that. Like somebody said in the comments, parenting is ghetto, but it's rewarding. And that is very true. It's very rewarding. I learned so much from dealing with my children as well. Even in teaching them things, I learned things. I learned things about myself just by showing them things.
Let me tell you, There are two of them right now that are testing mine and my husband's gangster right now. The 9-year-old and the 19-year-old. The 9-year-old little boy. And I tell you, he operates like a 30-year-old man. He thinks like a 30-year-old man. So you can't hit him with some MJ, go do this, because he's gonna hit you with why. And if you tell him because I said so, he wants more reason than that.
Yeah, the details.
You do something, you're like, MJ, why did you do that? And he says, because he really has a reason why he did something like that. Like, and then the 19-year-old, that's a girl. When they took my chicken came home to roost, she fought 10 inches of spitfire and every bit of me. And my mother, every time I sit there and be like, let me tell you what Sienna did, my mother go, isn't it beautiful? Like, tell me about it. Tell me more about what your teenage daughter doing to you.
Listen, we're up against the break right now. So Tiffany, will you stay with us after the break?
Of course. I ain't going nowhere.
All right. So we here. All right. We're gonna go ahead and take that break right now, and we'll be back in just a moment. All right.
Yes.
Looking to podcast shows and do not know where to start? The Evening Rush Network can help you with that. Call us at 929-441-2417 or email us at theeveningrushnetwork@gmail.com for dates and prices. We got you for all your podcast needs. The Evening Rush Network. Tune in, subscribe, and share.
All right. And we're back. Tiffany, thank you so much for staying with us. Ella, and we're back. The book is called Pretty Broken. Transforming Scars into
Beauty Marks.
Beauty Marks. There we go.
So look, here you go. So I used the break to run across the room and grab the book.
Yes.
Put it up, Tiffany.
There is the book. There we go. Pretty Broken, Transforming Scars into Beauty Marks. Available.
I love it. And I love the cover.
Thank you.
I mean, I saw the cover before, but I love the cover. And sitting in front of the mirror. I like that too. That's like a subliminal message. I like that. Sitting in front of the mirror.
Yep. Broken mirror. Just like, again, your pretty couldn't save you from this.
Yeah, because a lot of times, like when we go through things in life, and you know, like when we go through things that scar us, like a lot of times you don't even realize like what you went through or what it did to you until you really have like time to like really sit down and reflect on, okay, like I'm like this because this happened. And some, you know, and a lot, and just like you said, a lot of us should seek counseling.
Yes.
You know, like we got to normalize, you know, making counseling okay. Like it's okay. There's a negative stigma, especially in the Black community and in the faith-based community, that, oh, like I have God, I don't have to, you know, get counseling.
Listen, I don't care who you call your higher power. All right. It is perfectly okay to, outside of that higher power, seek help from a professional.
Yes.
And the two will connect and shall meet and heal you. And I saw it in the comments. Somebody was asking where you can get the book. The book is available on Amazon. It is available for order and downloadable on your Kindle if you have e-reader. But yes, I think your higher spirit and your mental practitioner, your mental health professional, go hand in hand to help heal, because some people can do it with just one or the other, and sometimes when there's a lot of work to be done, you need both. And a lot of in my experience, priests, ministers, whatever you want to call them, do offer counseling.
Exactly.
You're going to get married, they have you go to marriage counseling. You go, if you're a Catholic and you go to confession, to me, confession is counseling. It's counseling without having, like,
exactly.
Without them telling you what to do. Yes. So I think because the black community, especially for us, and it's so difficult, for Black women and men is because, you know, years ago, it's not like it is now the way it was years ago, where you had grandmama and auntie. We still have kids that go to our grandmommy's auntie's house and we still stay there. But I believe that years ago, it was much closer. Even when I was younger, I remember how much closer my family was before we all spread out. Everybody got their own lives, their own jobs. And so now that support system that we had in the village is not there like it should be. And there's been such a breakdown of that for various reasons, right? I mean, we were talking about this last time, Jean, like systemic racism, all of that stuff that has intruded in the Black family. And so I feel like that's why a lot of Black people, African Americans, whatever you want to say, do not seek out counseling, because that counseling was the village. Yes. And so now our village has been overrun. And so now you want me to go talk to somebody who's outside my village? I don't even know. But one thing I do agree with you, Tiffany and Jean, that is correct. Counseling is very important, especially what we're going through now and what a lot of people went through during the pandemic, losing people, losing their jobs, all of that stuff. And they have to understand that counseling is a gift. Yes. This person has a gift, you know, if they're drawn to that, and this is a talent of theirs. So it's okay. And I think we just have a problem trusting, right? And I know when I get your book, because I can't wait to read it, I know I just suspect that there's going to be a lot in there about mistrust and people who have had to deal and battle different things. Yes. And so that's why I feel like counseling is important. That trust and opening up to somebody to even seek help and to know that they are going to be objective and they are not going to be biased towards you is very difficult for people to take the step. And I just hope more people do that.
Yes. You know, when we sit here and we'll have our conversations with our friends, and they will try and keep it a buck with us, you know, but they're not going to be as raw and as truthful as somebody who does not have that connection with you. You know, as much as somebody might try and provide their unbiased opinion, we stay in story or stay in thought about, well, if I do this, how does it benefit somebody else? Well, if you're paying a therapist, the only thing that benefits them is that if you keep coming to therapy. But the truth of the matter is, if you get a good therapist, their whole goal is to get put out of a job by you.
Exactly.
Right.
That's something that
heal it.
That's something that I encounter a lot of times, like, you know, like in ministry, like when I have to counsel couples, for instance, right? Like if I have a special like relationship with one of the people in the couples, when they have a problem, sometimes it's hard for me to like kind of, you know, separate myself from the situation, because it's like, listen, man, I know what you do. Like, I know how you are. You know what I mean? Like, so I gotta give it to you raw. But at the same time, I don't want to hurt your feelings because I know you. You know, sometimes that gets, you know, a little cloudy. So, you know, even, you know, as a in my counseling duties, like a lot of times you gotta kind of, you know, take a step back, separate yourself from the situation, and give an honest assessment.
Right. See, that's with you, Gene, that's when you have to be like, all right, I gotta take the homeboy hat off.
Yeah.
Right? You can distinguish that this is spiritual Gene talking to you and not
exactly. Yeah. You gotta separate it, you know? And you know, a lot of times, but then again, it's like that's the problem with the Black community as a whole. Like we you know, we would probably feel more comfortable going to somebody that we know for counseling. But at the same time, we wouldn't want that honesty from that person that we went to, you know?
Yeah, let me tell you, we like it real and we like it raw until it's about us. And then it's like, I ain't asked for all of that.
Whoa.
Like, pump your brake. Like, who you think you talking to?
Yes, and immediately get offended. That's why we need to go to someone we don't know.
Exactly.
I think that would be easier to take, because if we know you, you know, our community, the next day, you might call us and be like, hey, I was just checking on you. Like, I'm fine. And so now we have an attitude. I think it's very important for us to go. I mean, if you have a friend that can be objective, I don't know any of my friends or family who can really be totally objective, because they're gonna want to say, but it'll be okay. They're gonna want to say that, right?
Yes.
So I would have to talk to somebody who knew nothing.
I love my girlfriends who keep it as real and raw with me as they can, but in my gut, I know sometimes there's a little bit that they're holding back. Like we always joke around, there's always a group chat that you're not in. That's where your therapy taking place at.
Right.
You're not in.
That's right.
I mean, I have a good friend that I always talk to, about, my situations as far as like, my family issues or whatever. And, like sometimes he hurt my feelings a little bit, but I appreciate it because, he's being 100% honest with me. Like he's willing to say, hey, Eugene, look, you suck at this. Like this is your fault, and sometimes, like I take it personal. Like, I'm like, yo, listen, man, like you're always knocking me, and I keep, but I'm able to keep it real with him and he's able to keep it real with me. And, we don't have enough of that in our inner circle.
Yeah.
So because like your circle becomes like an echo chamber. So however you feel and what you say is what everybody feels and what they say.
It's the original Facebook algorithm. You
yes.
surround yourself with like-minded people. Of course,
yes.
People around you who kowtow to your BS and everything like that. Every now and then somebody pop up just to shake it up and everything like that. But yeah, your social circles were your original Facebook algorithm. You kept around you people who were like-minded, like thought, who blew bubbles up your butt and let you know if something was wrong, it's gonna be okay. And if you the one that did it, oh well, you had right to do what it was.
Exactly. It's not your fault. Like I understand you did the wrong thing, but you did the wrong thing because that happened. No, like like sometimes you just gotta call it, especially if you're somebody's friend, you gotta call a spade a spade. You gotta tell them, hey, listen, you were wrong because of this, and you did this, and and let them deal with the repercussions of that. Again, everybody, we talking about Pretty Broken, the book. The phone number is 646-309-0421. Call in if y'all have any questions. Call in if you just got anything to say.
I want to ask you, Tiffany, about the other contributors.
Yes.
You all live in different states?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you all?
All of us.
Wow. So how do you all communicate now that the book is out? I know you're working on the tour, but do you all stay in contact? Do you all, if somebody comes up on, hey, I've got this opportunity, they want to see us, are you all doing a Zoom? How are you all managing this?
So Zoom is our best friend. There are bi-weekly meetings and everything like that. We have a closed private Facebook page in which we do a lot of communication. We just started last night our first it's called Book Babes, and it's a reading group, so it's a book club. And so the women who have, or just the people, because there are men who have bought the book and they've read for themselves, or they've gifted it to other women in their family or whatever it is.
Nice.
They're reading the book. They can come in, they can meet with us. We can talk specifically about some of the things in the chapters and everything like that. So you get the book off of Amazon, then you go onto Facebook and you find Book Babes, BOOKBABE.
Book Babes.
Book Babes.
Book Babes. Okay.
You join that club. You'll be a part of our book club, and you'll meet with us virtually in Zoom space. Every 2 weeks we're discussing a couple of chapters each week as we get to meet the authors and find out, as we're doing now, more behind her story and how she's doing now.
So are you guys looking to continue to work like or another project, or are you guys going to separate, do your own project?
Oh, no.
Come on, we want to know what's coming. I want to know what's coming.
So there are other projects involved. So the woman, Natima Cherie, who is orchestrating everything, she is the genius behind this project. There are 2 other projects that she's currently collaborating with other writers on, so more anthologies to come. I myself,
shout out to Natima Cherie.
Natima Cherie, yes.
Natima
That's who
Cherie.
you gotta have on next. Natima Cherie.
Yes, Natima. Right. Shout out to Natima.
Line it up. You got the email, so
I definitely will.
Okay.
I definitely will. But yes, I'm actually, my next project is an independent project, still under the Diamond Writers and Words Matter, which is her company, and it's going to be called Sisterhood and Shenanigans. And it's going to be different stories in my life where my sisters helped me through what it was. And when I say my sisters, I'm not just talking about the women that I share DNA with. I'm talking about my sisters, my sisterhood, my circle. You know, there are times in my life where I couldn't depend on my blood sisters, or I couldn't go to my blood sisters for what it was that I needed help, and got into it. I might have needed help working out something, dealing with one of them. So I obviously couldn't go to them. I had to go to my sister. And then in collaboration or as part of the book, because I love a good drink when I'm chilling and relaxing. So each chapter will have a cocktail mocktail recipe that you can sip while you read the chapter.
Okay, now what's the book? Right, now what's the book name?
It's going to be called Sisterhood and Shenanigans.
Sisterhood and Shenanigans. No, I got it. Yes. I love that. I'll get started on that one immediately. Yes, you can help a lot of people immediately. I love
it. And you know, you can come right back here. We'll pump it up and promote it. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Yes.
On everything.
You're coming on my show first.
Oh, that was somebody.
That's the husband.
Oh, that's your husband.
He said, y'all gotta come through him first.
Oh, come on, man, come on. Sit down.
I said she coming on my show first.
I gotta go to his show first.
Okay.
What's your show called?
His show is it's plugged with Molly and Joe.
All right, we're gonna check it out. Definitely.
We on the same network.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the network? Okay, yeah. we lit. All right.
Yeah, Sean over there, Puppet Master, and all of this, like this.
Yeah, right. That's amazing, though. That's amazing. So he's doing the podcast, and you doing the books.
Listen, there's other things that's happening too. So I'm doing the writing and the cycle breaking and the generational healing. He's over here with the nonprofit doing male mentorship and helping in the community.
I love to see it, man. Black love, yeah, working together. That is amazing. That is amazing. I love
that. Is amazing.
Yes.
I mean, that's hard to be able to work together. That's how you know you got the right one. Work together, marry, all of that stuff, kids, everything, just like the whole thing. I mean, that's phenomenal.
Teamwork makes the dream work, you know, like that's a beautiful thing. I love to see it. Black love, you know.
Yes, thank you.
Black love is everything.
It definitely is. Definitely is. As listen, it might be a chapter 2 in Sisterhood and Shenanigans dealing with this one here.
Oh man.
Yes.
I mean, that's probably like one of the most difficult things about writing, is it not? Like to actually like have to touch on like your own personal experiences with people, but trying not to, you know, like out them too much or put too much.
Right, put them on blast.
You know.
Yeah. So first of all, I don't need no libel lawsuit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right. You said it was okay, but now.
What were you saying, Ella? You got to change the name of the character.
Yes.
So even though Aunt Sue know that Betty Jean in the book is
yeah, exactly.
That's what I was going to say. This is not Tanisha. This is Sarah. Yeah. Sarah has nothing to do with you. They'll never connect it.
What was that movie about the book? I think it was called The Best Man, where he changed all the names. And
yes.
And then he found out that he was sleeping with his homegirls.
Because he wrote in the group, all y'all hang together. Then you wrote a book about the group together.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yo, what's good up there, man?
Oh, we have a caller.
Oh, hey, what's going on? What's your name? Where you calling from?
It's King Dawn.
Hey, what's going on, King Don?
What's good, man? Just calling in the first shout y'all out. What's good to everybody up there? What up, Ella?
What's going on?
What up, Tiff?
Hi, how are
Yeah, I
you?
just want to say y'all having a great show. I'm enjoying watching it. You know what I mean? I want to shout y'all all out. Shout out the plug on the Evening Rush Network as well.
Mm-hmm.
I did ask a question earlier. I never got the answer to my question.
Oh, what was the
It's
question?
cool. I was just like, some people have dreams that lead them to have be able to write the book. What was the dream that led you into writing that book?
It was her
Or
daughter.
writing
It
your
was
chapter in
the
the book?
teenage mother.
Right.
Oh, see, I didn't hear that part. That's
Yeah,
what I'm asking.
we went through it in the beginning.
All right. So my question wasn't answered. My bad.
It's
So
okay.
Don, now we know that you're not a good listener. Like we just want you to get a little better at that. All right, thank you.
Yo, I'm definitely gonna work that out. Yo. Just once again, I want to appreciate y'all. Tell y'all thank you. I am enjoying your show,
Thank
and Tiff, I'm happy about you in the book.
Thank you.
I think it's a great thing that y'all put together up there, and you know what? I'm about to be out off the joint. You know what I mean? But shout out to the whole Evening Rush Network. Shout out to the Evening Rush. Make sure y'all catch us on Wednesday. All right, later, y'all.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Oh, and then you saw, Gene, the last comment from Kwani Shah and embellish a little bit so they know it's not directly you. Talking
Exactly.
about the
Yeah.
names.
So what I was thinking of was that disclaimer that you put on there, that any similarities to people real or is strictly coincidental and it's not.
Yes.
Or characters have been changed, or you know how they say fictional, some events have been altered, something like that. Yeah.
You got to do that though, like this is a very, this generation, they'll sue you for anything these days,
But I would say, and you let me know what y'all think. I would say though, when you're putting other people in the book, you do have to be mindful of their lives and to make sure that I would definitely speak to them about it and let them know, of course, because you don't want anybody to be shocked or, have a negative tone, like they didn't know you were going to put that in there. So I do think that is a fine line. You have to be careful with how much you're going to share of somebody else's life in pursuit of what you're doing.
Yeah,
so
because you can ruin somebody's life like that, if you're not careful. Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't want to put somebody's business out on Front Street or put in something that isn't relevant to my story. And I definitely wouldn't want to tarnish anybody's image that isn't like somebody who has a pristine image and is like, oh, now let me just like rip open the Band-Aid and show you what this person. No, I wouldn't do that. That's one. And then two, I wouldn't choose my project to be where I'm going to air you out at. Because I believe in karma and I believe in the universe and everything like that. And I wouldn't want to put something salacious and scandalous out there just for sales and to garner hype and everything like that, because I would still have to answer for this, later on. But trust and believe if somebody's business, needed to be checked or pulled, I already did it. So I would be okay in what it is that I'm saying. And then I'm so smooth with words, I slice them. They wouldn't even know it.
Yeah, I mean that's an important talent to have, like where you could keep it real with somebody, and you know what I love, like when they walk away from you without realizing what you did, and then they think about it like, oh man, he meant this, like I love it,
Yeah.
So I mean, sarcasm is my toy. I love sarcasm. Like I love it. That's my toy.
Somewhere I have a T-shirt. It says "fluent in sarcasm." Yes.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask you too. And you may not have it now, but while we were talking, it just made me think. You just see all these visions. Like I'm seeing all these visions for your next book and all these projects. So are you all, and you may not have started it yet, but are you all going to be selling any clothing or anything where people can purchase something soon?
Yes. So the team of the brainchild behind all of this stuff is already on the merch and
yes, we definitely need some merch.
So that when we're out on tour, of course, there will be merch for sale and swag to pick up. So as those things come about, I will definitely keep you abreast to it so that the orders
let us know
and everything. So yes, it's blowing up bigger than what we thought it was. We're like, all right, we're gonna write this nice little simple book and it's doing what it's supposed to do. There was a message that was supposed to be shared, and it's getting out there to mugs and wine glasses. Yes.
Oh, those are always winners.
Listen,
always.
Today there is tea in this cup, but normally it could be some Moscato in here. It could be a mixed drink in here. But yes, I'm a firm believer on a nice mug. I had one that said, "This is my wine glass."
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah. Mugs are always winners. Wine glasses too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah. And when you do get that merch, like, please remember us. And like we'll use it and pump it up. Definitely.
I definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We gunning for number one.
Yes. Absolutely.
Cornish, I said I'm a cup collector, so
So what are some of the goals that you guys are looking forward to accomplish in the future? Like as far as like where this book is headed, like I know you guys headed to number 1. I can't wait to see it.
I want to know all of 2021.
So I can only speak for myself, but I will say the number one thing that we have all agreed on is the New York Times bestseller list.
Right.
We are looking to springboard all of this writing into our individual projects. And just to grow their, as I said, each of these women in all their different in their different cities are doing different things and helping their community and the youth and helping and healing, and so that's what the goal is. The goal is to heal. It's to help another sister understand that, what, you might be going through something right now, but you can get through it. I'm here to help you. I'm here to show you what it looks like on the other side of that trial. So
tell me about I'm sorry, go ahead, Jean.
No, I was gonna say that's amazing. Go ahead.
Tell me about the friendship that you built. I'm interested in that because I mean it's so phenomenal. This is not your everyday story where you have 10 authors total on a book, and where you all are working in different states. It's not even you all live, this is a very unique thing. And I love that. So what have you gained from this as far as the friendships that you've made with these ladies?
So here's a funny story. I transitioned out of a job the end of February, and right now I'm just focusing on the book and building my brand and stuff from there. And so one of the things that I did speak on was like, well, if I decide that I want to return back to the workforce, I'm going to need some help in revamping my resume or getting some referrals together. And when I tell you 9 women was like, I got you, sis.
Wow.
That's it right there. I got you, sis. That's what forms out of this. And that's a beautiful thing because, again, we don't know each other in person.
Right.
Wow. All right. We're up against it again. Tiffany, like, we appreciate you for coming on. Hopefully you're going to come back again. I'm looking forward to reading the book, Pretty Broken. Ella, I appreciate you too. It's been a great show.
Yes.
In this day and age where like everybody is seeking the easy route to everything, I just want y'all to be mindful that faith makes all things possible, but it doesn't make it easy. So it's a lot of work to be done. And I appreciate you guys. All right. Thank y'all so much for the show. God bless y'all. And that's on everything.
Pretty Broken. Go get it.
Let's go.
Today.
Yes.
That book.
Pretty Lost.
Amazon.
Find it.
Copy it.
Pretty Lost.
Yes. And remember
Find
her
it.
captain.
We'll be there to help you.
Thank you.
Y'all go on to the On Everything podcast page and post what y'all think about the book. Please go out and cop it. I'm begging y'all. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.